What's up, everybody? New Pod Who Dis, episode 3, coming at you. It's Wednesday, October 4th. I'm Jake Ferrano.
I'm Jackie Gabella.
I'm Joey Nichols.
And I'm Stephen Hatcher.
We are here and we are ready to go. So before we get into our content for tonight, just wanted to give a big shout out to everyone out there listening. We've gotten so much great feedback on our different segments, what people think about how we flow, and it's just really exciting. What do you guys think?
Yeah, seriously, thank you everyone for listening and making us validate a little bit what we're doing here. So we super appreciate the feedback. Keep it coming. Please let us know what you think. We are definitely want to do this so that you have fun too.
Yeah, please don't hesitate to reach out to us on social media. We have Instagram at NewPodWhoDis. We have a Twitter account that we haven't had any activity on yet, but we are gonna get there. That is NewPod_Whodis, and a brand new Facebook page that is at NewPodWhoDis, and that's going great. I've been off of Facebook for like 3 years. I didn't realize how amazing it was.
That's usually not the sentiment.
No,
I mean, there's options.
Not these
So
days.
reach out to us however you want. Tons of options. We love the feedback. Love hearing that more than our parents listen to this podcast. So keep it coming, definitely.
That's the greatest feeling of all.
Yeah.
So one other thing we wanted to get into was kind of how the four of us came together.
Yep.
To give you a little background about how we all ended up at this table. So Joey and I have been friends, I don't know, how long?
We're pretty old right now, but
Yeah.
let's go 15 years?
Yeah, probably when we were 13. We're 28 now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 15 years. We met at a birthday party, and we had a maple syrup fight with a bunch of friends.
Syrup?
Joey and I are the ones that opted out of the maple syrup fight,
That's
but
smart.
ended up waking up drenched in it anyway. So that was pretty terrible.
what prompted the maple syrup fight?
I don't remember
Puberty?
at this point. Yeah, puberty. This party brought to you by puberty.
All right.
And then Jackie, how'd we meet?
We met through your wife, your lovely wife, and
She
our
is lovely.
audio producer, Kate.
Yeah, shout out to Kate
Shout
back
out
there on
Kate.
the board.
Kate and I worked together, and then you married her.
I did. That was a good call.
And at that point, we became friends. And then Steven and I also worked together
Yeah,
with
so
Kate.
I met you back in 2013, I think. And then basically, that's how I met you, Jake. And
Yeah.
then Joey, I just met you when we decided to do the podcast.
When was the first episode? Yeah, that day.
About 3 weeks
It's
ago.
episode 1, so it's going to be a little while before our Facebook friend anniversary comes back around.
I'm definitely going to post the video that they prompt me to post.
Be
though.
better.
Yeah, so it's really great that we're finally here, and we love doing this. So please reach out to us, and we'd love to hear what you have to say. That being said, let's hop right into it, guys. TRL is on its way back. MTV is coming in strong. What do we think?
Where's Carson Daly?
Where is he?
Carson Daly is doing God's work on The Voice right now, okay? He is honestly one of the best parts about watching The Voice, and it brings back a lot of TRL memories for me, but I don't want him to ever leave what he's doing because he's really doing a good job.
Well, Jackie, I don't watch The Voice. What is he doing that is so great?
He's just, they give him hugs. All of the family members love him. He is just like so invested in every single person that goes out on that stage. It's unbelievable. And you're just like, okay, Carson, you get that. You get them. And he's great.
There's something about Carson Daly's eyes that just say everything's going to be okay.
Yeah. But TRL is cool. I mean, I really didn't know that they were still making music videos. So I guess maybe that's my problem.
I mean, that's kind of what that's what I liked the most about TRL was like the countdown, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I love music videos.
Yeah.
To me, they are awesome, and that was like the only way back then you could really watch music videos. But now with YouTube and all the other different ways that we get our videos delivered to us, it kind of got rid of the need for a show. You know?
Do you still watch music videos?
Oh yeah, I love music videos. Like,
How do you watch them?
YouTube. Yeah. Or mostly YouTube. But that's like only because like it hasn't been like we haven't had something like TRL or something like an old just like there was the MTV, like MTV had just like music videos for hours sometimes. Like their normal content would end for whatever time it ended in the afternoon or the evening, and then just fill blocks of slots for 2-3 hours of just music videos.
Something I've noticed about recent musicians is they've been putting out like 3 music videos at a time, like back to back. And I'm like, I don't know. What do you think of that strategy?
I mean,
That's what Beyonce did, right? She had a visual album instead
Yes.
of
yeah.
just traditionally releasing the hits. Like every song had a video, which is wild.
Yeah.
Is that just like spurred by like the social media and like this like really quick turnaround
Maybe.
time?
I think it depends too, like on like what kind of music video it is. If it's just
True.
like a lot of performance videos now, there's not as many like there's still a lot of cinematic videos, but these quick ones we see, it's either like a lyric video, right? So they have like 3 videos on YouTube of the 3 singles, and it's just the lyrics.
You're not getting those like Blink 182 like crazy like all the small things videos.
Yeah, or like those really like I remember like when I saw like there's been a lot, but like I remember when 30 Seconds to Mars put out like a music video. It was like, this is like watching, it was like a movie.
Yeah, it was like a mini movie thing. Yeah,
it was like shot amazingly well and really epic. So like, I mean, music videos can be whatever you want. It's like you think of you hear a song, you think of something in your head, you watch a music video, it's something different. It's like that whole read a book or not. But what was one of your guys' favorite videos ever that you remember or recently?
This is a really bad question.
No, it's definitely, and I know we said Blink-182 earlier, but all the small thing, or not all the small things. What's my age again?
Oh, is that the one I'm thinking of?
Yeah,
where
where
they're
they're running around naked.
Yep.
I don't know. Can we get a fact checked on that? I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
I think it's that one.
No, because all the small things they were making fun of NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, and they were doing like the parodies and like the
Blink-182 brought their A game for their videos.
Oh, right.
I mean, that was like most of like their performance was like most of their thing. It was like they were like punk rockers, like rock stars. Like you wanted to go to the Blink-182 show, you wanted to see their crazy music videos because they were going for it.
I know, isn't it crazy how MTV has gone through so many transitions? So it kind of turned into like reality TV.
It turned into
show
trashy
for a while.
hour for a little while there. Do you remember Next?
Yeah.
Oh yes,
dating
Or
show.
Date My Mom?
Date My Mom. That was
Did not watch
or
that.
whatever that room one was, where you like go into people's rooms and then you had to like learn about that. I mean, yeah, it got real bad real quick. But
Yeah, and TRL was kind of like social media before social media was a thing because we didn't have so much interaction. Carson Daly was our navigator through what was happening, and there was interactions with fans. They would bring guests of the show on, and it was really like an interactive show, kind of the same way that social media is so interactive now and increasingly interactive. So did you guys see, for an example, Instagram added polls to the stories.
Yeah, I saw
I
that.
didn't
and
see that.
My first thought for this was, like, an example I saw was like a person holding up 2 donuts, and one had sprinkles and one didn't. And it was like, sprinkles or no sprinkles? Like, that was the poll question. But I don't have time to like send out a poll if I want, like, which things should I buy? Okay, let me wait for like my friends or followers to respond to it. So I don't know, like, it's going to be interesting to see what people actually like use it for.
Oh, I take people's opinions to heart. So
Do you?
I'm every decision that I'm making here on out is going on the story. Yes or no. What rate my fit? So I'll be like putting the split screen one outfit to the next one, seeing what I can get quickest response.
and Jake loses 4,000 followers.
Well, that would mean I had 4,000 to start with. So get at me at Jake Ferranto on Instagram. Let's get that number up.
I mean, I do.
Shameless plug.
I do think it's a cool idea to get like more people, like different ways of interacting. Different ways of asking questions.
The way I see it is social media progressing. So Instagram, when it came out, was a visual experience.
Yeah, you remember the first? I remember the first photo I took on Instagram with the filter. Like
Everything
the
was
square filter.
vignette.
Yeah, yeah. It was like
Everything had a vignette. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Mine are still on there. If
you
you
scroll back far
backwards
enough.
stalk me, you can find them. They were not good.
No.
You haven't taken advantage of the archive feature yet? I went back and archived all my old photos.
No, I don't. I have no shame.
Delete them.
Please go look at my photos of like really poorly taken, I don't know, scenic shots. They're all bad.
Yeah, mine was like my dog in a vignette, just like laying on the bed, like, what are you doing?
So brooding and deep. Look at this picture I just took.
And like, I'm abusing you for social media points.
Do you like my dog? Yes or no? But yeah, like I think like for stories, I don't like for Instagram. What like I prefer Instagram stories like over Snapchat and other kind of Facebook stories or Facebook Live kind of stuff. Like, what do you guys like?
Instagram stories for sure. I have not actually. The Facebook Live thing annoys me because every time I accidentally scroll left and then it's like, do you want to go live? And the answer is no. I never ever want to go live. But the Instagram stories, I'm all about that.
So I'm trying to be a better Snapchat user, and I've been really bad at it. But I enjoy Instagram stories probably because I picked that up first, and I was using Instagram so much. So as soon as stories came to Instagram, I was stoked.
Yeah.
Because I was really bad at Snapchat, and I didn't understand swiping to navigate the app.
Oh, like for different, like the different filters and stuff.
For Instagram?
No, for Snapchat.
Oh, no.
I think you might just be a Luddite.
Why did you want to be better at Snapchat?
Because it was cool. I want to be cool.
I feel like, well, I mean, my feeling is that like Instagram just like was like they took away Snapchat's whole business model with like this nav bar at the top, and they're just like, yeah, we're gonna do that, and like boom, that was it.
Yeah, but Snapchat's still doing its thing. I mean, they've got 3D art now of your body moving and dancing or sipping coffee, or like there's one of like me in the office next to a water cooler, whatever. They're hilarious, and it looks like me dancing, and I love it. I love it so much.
I haven't seen these yet.
Oh
Yeah.
man, you
Yeah.
definitely need to check it out because with iOS 11, that augmented reality technology just got blasted forward.
Oh, they just went all
So
in.
Snapchat, do you guys remember the dancing hot dog that was like
Yes.
overtly sexual?
He's still alive and well, the dancing hot dog.
A lot of my memories are of that dancing hot dog just on random
It
things
was
in my
like 3
apartment.
months ago, Jake. It would have been all of your memories.
Look
Feels
upon
like a
them
lifetime.
fondly.
No, not my actual memories on Snapchat. Maybe I'm a better Snapchat user than I
Oh,
realized.
you meant your Snapchat memory. Okay. I accept.
I definitely prefer Instagram stories just because I natively use Instagram more often. I love it for like, posting photos and stuff like that. But something that might bring me back to Snapchat is their recent announcement for this whole Snapchat AR thing that they're pushing. Did you guys see this? The AR art stuff. So they're partnered with Jeff Koons, who's an artist, and they're going to put all of these different types of artwork around the world. So there's going to be some in Paris, New York, London, Toronto, Sydney, etc.
Oh, they're all geotagged,
They're
right?
geotagged. So you go to them and you turn on your Snapchat, and then you aim the Snapchat towards where the marker is, and then the artwork just kind of comes to life
that's
in the
pretty
augmented
tight.
reality. And I think that's like really cool.
Like Pokemon Go meets Snapchat.
Yeah.
One kind of creepy thing about Snapchat is that you can see a map of where all of your Snapchat friends are.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's kind of funny when I see like all of my friends from home are concentrated in one area, and then the FOMO kicks in, and you're like, what am I doing with my life? I'm alone down here in the middle of nowhere. Why is my Bitmoji so alone? But it is, I mean, it's the ultimate way to stalk someone if you're looking for one.
That's like the throwback to last episode where we were talking about the bikes in the front yard.
Yeah,
being like the
exactly.
marker of where everybody
now
is.
you literally know where everyone is.
Yeah, now it's just awful.
Do you think it's better or worse that we kind of know where everyone is and what everyone's doing?
I mean, at first I was like, hell no, I'm not going to put my like location thing on. And then I was like, no, this is actually kind of awesome.
It's funny. It's
Yeah, like I don't care where people know where I am.
come get me. Come at me. is what I say.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're starting fights on them now.
Not fights. I'm just saying, come at me. Be a part of this.
But
Be
what's
part of the
creepy,
Jake Frono experience.
what's
Bring your
really
bike.
creepy is that
Yeah.
it knows when you're like on a train or driving. Like my sister went up to Boston this weekend, and her Bitmoji was traveling in a cartoon train up the coast.
Oh, it knew she was on a train.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
cool.
How does it
Whoa.
know that?
Well,
What
the
does
new
it know?
iOS 11 knows you're in a car. Now it's like, hey,
Yeah,
you're not going to
that's
get
true.
notifications. Are you driving?
Well, the Google Maps updates I've really enjoyed that are using your location a lot better. So it knows when you park, and it will automatically drop a pin and send me a notification saying, hey, see where you parked. Not that I'm really parking in obscure areas very often anymore, but
Anymore.
that was a different part of my life. We can get into that in a later episode.
That's a useful thing. I mean, how often do you come out and you're like, where did I park my car?
If you're in a new
All the
place.
time, yeah.
Where's my car, dude? Another thing we want to talk about this week is water bottles. So
Agua.
it's like, for me, I love my water bottle. I'm all about it. Joey, you were just telling us that you got a free water bottle this week.
I did. I got a free Yeti at work, and I was super jazzed about it because I was actually looking for a new water bottle for work. I had like a hydro flask in my Amazon cart, and I was like, do I want this? Like, is that worth it for water? So I didn't. I ended up not buying it, and then like we got free gifts of like Yetis, and I was like, well, perfect.
What kind of Yeti did you get?
Well, it's branded, so it's kind of swag. It's like
That's cool though.
it's got a company's logo on it. It's like the 20-ounce tumbler.
Oh, it's a tumbler, so it's not because
Yeah.
they have I can't remember what they're called, but they are like the actual water bottle ones now too, which are tight.
Oh, I haven't seen those.
But I'm a big fan of the tumbler. I'm actually drinking out of one right now.
I'm not a big I've just never been I don't know. This topic is not something that I have a lot of.
You're not a fan of being hydrated?
No, I drink a lot of water, but I don't have a water bottle.
You don't have a
weird?
vessel.
Maybe I need one. I guess I would just always
So you
forget
like
it.
filling landfills?
No. At work, I have a giant cup that I refill all the time.
What about your sorority cup?
Yeah, you have
Yeah,
that.
that's my sorority cup. It's 26 ounces, and I refill it a bunch.
So you fill yourself with
Super
water
hydrated.
and memories.
Every time I see it. Yeah, I think at this point in my 28th year of life, I should probably get rid of it. But it's just such a good size.
Do you guys think like different types of water bottles like say stuff about people? Because I have an Nalgene.
Mine
It's
says
covered-
I was in a sorority.
Yeah. Yours says
Literally.
I brought my own cup to parties. Is what yours says.
Yeah.
Like I have my Nalgene, and I love that thing. I have stickers covered in it. I bring it everywhere I go. Like
Yeah, you have it here, right?
Yeah, and I literally never leave my house without it. But I feel like it says something about me, like, oh, he likes to save the planet. He's a little adventurous. I have all my stickers on there that I've collected. He goes places. So I feel like he kind of like it's a part of me.
You either
That's-
had dreads or wanted dreads at one point.
I might
Here's
go
the
rock
thing.
climbing this weekend or something. Like,
The thing about Nalgene's is that I don't know how to drink from them without getting drenched
oh
in
no,
liquid.
we need to get sponsorship for this product because Human Gear caps are amazing. Okay, I got turned on to these, and it's a cap that you would just replace the Nalgene one that comes with it, and it has a smaller spout. Like that
Yeah.
fixes like.
I don't know
That
what they
tip
were
alone
thinking.
is worth this episode. If you're out there and you have an Nalgene and you don't have a Human Gear cap,
What are you even doing?
What are you doing?
It's talking specifically to Nalgene bottle owners.
That's my people. So hit us up if you drink Nalgene, or just hit us up and tell us what type of vessel you
What
like
kind
to
of water
drink.
bottle do
Yeah,
you use?
water out of. Yeah.
So I got a story about Nalgene's. So when I first was looking at water bottles, everyone that I knew had a
when
Nalgene.
you were in the market.
When I was in the market for my first water bottle, everyone that I knew had a Nalgene. So I was like, I gotta get a Nalgene. I can put my van stickers on it. I can put my band stickers.
See.
And I feel like that was my entry into the water bottle game. When I stepped my game up was when I got an aluminum hydro flask with a flip top lid. I was like, see you later. I'm so hydrated
said a
all the
bunch of
time.
words.
You
I
like
don't
you
know.
like jumped your status.
Hi, quickly.
Oh my
So
God.
now I'm low on the status bar with my Nalgene.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm better than you, but
I'm just waiting for people to just start wearing camelbacks all the time, so you're never without water.
No, when I see those people at like festivals or concerts or something, especially if they're indoors, I'm like, what are you? Those are for hiking. Like, go outside, go
Yeah,
do something interesting.
that's grain
Stop
alcohol.
drinking out of your tiny little backpack. Yeah, inside.
But what if they made like a camelback vest that you like put on as like underwear?
No, I'm never
underneath
gonna do that,
everything?
Joey.
Like,
I'm never gonna wear that. You know
Body
that.
water vest.
you can just sit for
gonna
hours and never be dehydrated.
No.
But you will have to use the bathroom multiple times.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
do you guys do shakes in the morning? Like smoothies?
No,
I get up and dance.
Like
If
the blender
that's
bottles.
what you mean.
No, I never got into the blender bottle.
See, that's like if I see someone walking around with a blender bottle and they're not having like a protein shake in there, but they're drinking water out of it. Like to me, that says, okay, you go to the gym, or you want me to think
Or
you go to the
exactly.
gym. Yeah.
That's what it says. You're not fooling anyone.
Yeah.
What are those other bottles? Beth, can you bring up, what is it, Sip? What are the ones that look like a plastic bottle, but they're aluminum?
Oh,
They're like sippy cups.
Sip water bottle?
Who?
Sup?
I mean, they're all the same.
mean-
Sip. Oh, yeah, Sip by Swell. Yeah,
Sip.
these things are
so
ridiculous.
S
Looks like
apostrophe IP sip. Oh yeah, I've seen those before.
This is what all the biddies have.
Oh,
This is the biddies.
yeah, they scream just like a pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah.
It screams.
That's where they put them. Right in those. Keeps them cold for hours. The chilled ones, you know.
It's too. See, that's too stylish for me. If I had that, I don't think it fits my.
that obviously says something about you. Like that is a statement. Water
Right,
bottle.
that's
Well,
what I'm
water
saying. So
bottle.
I think water bottles tell a lot about a person. I really do.
Well.
I think it's an extension of your person.
Absolutely. Do you know when I'm not drinking out of a water bottle?
When
When I'm hanging out at chain restaurants.
do you frequent the chain restaurants often?
What's your favorite chain?
So, full disclosure here,
Uh-oh.
I was gonna shit on chain restaurants when we first put this on the outline. Then today, by complete coincidence,
You went to one.
I went to Chili's with my boss because my boss was like, "Hey, let's grab lunch at Chili's," and I was
Did
like,
you get an awesome blossom? Extra awesome.
Awesome Blossom?
Extra awesome?
No, that's Outback.
No, it's from,
it's
from the office. But anyway.
It's another office point, but
I'm not as good of a fan as I thought I was. Anyway, so Chili's, super clean, corporate. They have these Ziosk little mini iPads at each table now. So you just order your...
No, that bothers me
you don't have to
so
order
much.
from a waiter anymore?
They have waiters, but they have like games, and it kind of kills the whole vibe of a restaurant, because a restaurant's supposed to be an exchange of ideas.
If I'm playing a game at a restaurant, I
relationships.
want it to be in a casino, and I'm going to be winning money.
You're getting free drinks.
Yeah.
But remember, that was like the bane. Like if you're going to Applebee's, eating good in the neighborhood, right?
I used to go to Applebee's a lot in high school because they had half-price appetizers after 10 o'clock.
Yes.
And
that was the best.
I mean, come on.
And after you're busting a move to some Millionaire, 50 Cent, just dancing at those high school dances.
You don't know me at all. It's so unbelievable.
I totally know what you're talking about with the half-price Applebee's, though, appetizers, because me and my friends would totally go to that and get those.
Yeah.
It's like, when else am I going to get boneless chicken wings for like I think it was like $4 back then. But like, chain restaurants for me now are not places that I'm like looking forward to going to. Like, chain restaurants for me are my last. Like, if my boss was like, "Hey, let's go to Chili's," I'm like, "Hey, no, thank you." Because I would love to go to lunch with you, but I'm not going to a chain restaurant if I don't have to. It's just something about them. I just feel like I want to go.
Well, they just remind me of like a road trip. It's like, what do you eat on the road? A chain, something that comes from a chain, right?
Well, did you ever work at a chain restaurant?
No, did you?
I mean, I worked at Texas
Which is
Roadhouse
different.
for 2 months.
You're at the Texas Roadhouse. No way. Is that the one where they bring out the horse on your birthday? No, it's not that one.
I
That might
don't
be a
think
different thing
so.
I'm thinking of.
We do the Awesome Blossoms. They're Bloomin' Onions, that's what they're called. There's also like this like butter and bread stuff that I eat way too much of, and like now I smell it and like get sick to my stomach.
You like left with it like covered all over you probably.
Oh,
like
good
the
story
smell.
from there. I was so hungry one shift, and the chefs were like trying to make fun of me, and they took some of the bread and they formed it into the shape of a chicken patty, and they fried it on the grill, and they were like, they put barbecue sauce all over it, and they're like, "Here you go, like here's some free chicken." I'm like, "Oh, thank God, I'm so hungry," and I bite into it and like, tastes kind of weird, guys, but you know, I'm hungry, I'll eat it. And they're just cracking up back there, and they're finally like, "You just ate a whole like chicken patty of bread."
You didn't know it was bread?
No, I had no. I was so hungry.
You're
I
really
just like
hungry, dude.
shoved it in my face. I was like, "Oh God, what am I doing?"
So even though I dislike chain restaurants, though, you know what I do like? I like these new kind of like fast, casual, healthy places. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. So there's different levels of chain restaurants.
That's true.
So let's be clear, we're not shitting on chain restaurants. We are opting out of the corporate, national, multi-location franchise nonsense that it just doesn't go with my
But
style.
I can get down with like a chopped,
Like
a
roti.
roti. Yeah, roti. Like, I love me some roti. We just had
Kava.
that last kava.
Sweet green.
Sweet green. I mean, these are all kind of like hip and popular right now, but I like getting like a healthier option. Usually it's like from local like places. Like I know like Chopped usually has on their board like this is where we got all our ingredients from this week and stuff like that. And Sweet Green does as well. So like I'm down with that. That's like my new chain restaurant that I enjoy.
At what point did we realize that there were foods that were bad for us? Because I remember as a kid, we would go to McDonald's religiously. I can see now because of the price point. But if I eat a McDonald's hamburger now, my stomach is on fire.
I would say the freshman 15 helped with that.
That was a
Learn real quick what you probably shouldn't be eating and what you should be eating.
oh, yeah, I can't have that double quarter pounder of cheese after like
18
11 p.m.
Yeah, it's like, 12 beers or a hamburger.
Yeah.
Hamburgers make me forget about my problems for less time.
Oh, do you guys still eat fast food? I haven't had fast food in like over 3 years.
I mean, like I said, if I'm on the road and you just gotta eat sometimes.
I mean, that's an impressive number. How did you manage that?
My fiance, it's basically like, yeah, you're not like, you know, you don't need it, and it's like, yeah, I don't like. I would be like you, Jake. If I had a fast food meal right now, my body would just die. It would not enjoy it.
To Jackie's point, definitely when you're on the road, because my wife and I went on a road trip to Nashville last year for our anniversary, and on our way back, we had McDonald's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a little mini.
A 24-hour McDonald's binge.
You know what? When you gotta eat, you gotta eat.
You gotta eat.
And that's that.
What would be your guys' just to wrap up the whole chain restaurant and fast food restaurant thing? What would be like your dream fast casual restaurant? Like, for me, it'd be a place where I can get like really good
Coffee.
Coffee, really good like rotisserie chicken and like awesome salads, and like just that would be my thing. I just want meat in a salad, like, which is some kind of like some of the places are like that, but I want it very specific. Like we do a lot of chicken and like meats really well, and we do a lot of salads really well.
And coffee.
And coffee.
Cold brew, Mediterranean, and pizza. But like healthy pizza, but
All together
It's not
or
here
separate?
He wants it
just
all together.
once.
Yeah,
For
one spot.
breakfast. And
In
second
shake
breakfast.
form? In your blender bottle?
In my shaker bottle.
You guys just named all of the different types of food, so pretty much covered everything.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
All right. Well, now it is time to hop into our critically acclaimed segment, Google What?
Google what?
Google
What did you guys Google this week?
I can start it off. My parents went to Clifton, Virginia this week, and so we just Googled Clifton, Virginia. And it's not really that interesting, to be honest with you, but the town usually has like less than 300 people. Technically, it's a small town. But what's interesting is that there was two notable people who have lived there. The first one is the RMS Titanic, a ship you guys have probably known of because it sank.
Is that the Titanic?
Yeah, the Titanic.
The same one in Joey's Icebreaker?
Yes, the same one in Joey's icebreaker.
That one never goes
He can
down.
add this. He can add this to his
I thought we
icebreaker.
weren't going to talk about that anymore.
But the sea postal clerk, Oscar Scott Woody, had lived in Clifton, Virginia one time. He didn't make it when the Titanic sank. I don't think any of some of the letters they kept, but some people's mail was not delivered, sadly.
Oh my God.
And then the second person that lived there that's kind of notable is the writer Jeff Arch. Was living in a house on Clifton's Main Street when he wrote the screenplay for the hit 1993 movie Sleepless in Seattle. And that's just random. So the reason I like this segment is because when I Google something, it justifies going down the rabbit hole a little bit. But take it for what it is.
Joey?
So, my Google What this week was foot strengthening exercises, which doesn't sound sexy at all. But I have these weird hammer toes, is what they're called. Like my toes like curl, and I don't like it. So I've been working on like these foot strengthening exercises to try and correct them.
But do they curl? Like, do they get cramps, or are they just like?
No, like you
just
would
have-
look at them and you'd be like, man, that looks really painful. But like, no, they're just like normal. They're just like kind of curled, like
Like a hobbit foot.
Yeah, not that hairy, but like you know,
Okay.
like
So what exercises did you find?
Yeah, like when you I'm thinking like if I Google foot strengthening exercises, I don't know what would pop up. Like, how do you work out
Put
your
like
foot?
a sponge in between your toes and just caress it back and forth?
well, the main one is like you put a towel on the floor and you try and like pick it up with like your toes and like put like marbles or pens on the floor and pick
Some
them
people
up.
can do that
Joey's
already.
Saturday
I
night.
do that with my underwear every time
Oh
I
my
take it
God.
off.
You're strengthening your feet, man. You got.
That was a
My wife
TMI.
will attest.
Oh my God.
Learned something new about you today.
But like as I'm googling this, I'm like, why did we need physical therapists? Like, what did people do when they were like, oh, I have this physical ailment I want to correct? Like they had to go to a doctor or like somebody like that. And I'm like, nah, YouTube.
Yeah, especially for something like my feet curl weirdly. Like I would definitely search to see like if other people's feet curl weirdly as well. That was definitely an interesting Google search for you this week.
Yeah, it was.
All right, Jack.
We'll
you
go to
do
Jackie
Google.
then.
Mine had nothing to do with that at all. But I Googled what county is DC in because honestly, it was a question. So I had drinks with a friend and he was telling me how he went to go get a credit card and they asked him, like he had to go through all of the security thing on the phone and they asked him what county he lived in. And he was like, no, I live in the District of Columbia. And she was like, but what county are you in? And he was like, there isn't a county. And she was like, well, there is, but we're going to move on now. And he was like, what?
Sassy.
Yeah. And so I Googled it and it's the county of Washington in Washington, D.C. There's only the one.
Washington.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Well, there's some forms that'll be like, what's your city and state? But like the state will be like Washington, D.C. And so the city is Washington. You're like, okay, Washington is the default answer.
Yeah, it's just exactly, and that's what we learned.
City, and
Washington
the
is the
District
default
of
answer.
Columbia is the state, even though we don't get
It's a
votes.
district.
Well,
DC's
state on a form.
DC's kind of interesting with like the naming convention with that because like I was living overseas the past year and people would be like, oh, where are you from? Like DC, and they're like, oh, Washington, and I was like, oh yeah, but then like to me, Washington is like the state. You know what I mean? I call DC DC. I don't call DC Washington necessarily on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I think the rest of the world does.
Yeah, I think that's what I found out.
Yeah.
And that was like kind of it was interesting because
Yeah.
it was not how I called DC.
Have you ever gone to a bar and have them be like, this isn't a United States like license? They're like, you're from Columbia. And I'm like, no, that's the District of Columbia.
Well, they just changed
our
that.
nation's capital.
They changed it. The DC license now says Washington, D.C. on it. This was also part of our conversation that same night. But my DC license says District of Columbia, but they changed it because people were confused. So now it reads Washington, D.C.
Especially out of state. And I'm assuming that was Delaware.
That was a Delaware.
Yeah, that makes sense. Joey and I are both Delaware natives, so it's okay for us to rag.
We love Delaware, but
What about you, Jake? What'd you Google?
Okay, so I have an interesting story for what I had to Google, and it came at a time of despair. So Kate and I were coming home we played volleyball with Jackie on Mondays down by the Lincoln Memorial. And when we got home, I went to pick up a package, and there was a lady at the desk with her dog that was trying to get a hold of the concierge. The concierge wasn't there. Big turmoil. We asked her what she was waiting for. She had a chicken cooking in her apartment, and her door when she pulled it shut, the security latch
Oh, no.
from the inside locked her out.
Oh, I've always like I've kind of secretly been worried about that in the back of my mind that like that could accidentally happen.
But it's like
but what are the chances?
impossible for it to
Yeah,
happen.
did it like slam?
It was just like, I think what happened, she
Those
said that
loose?
the wind blew and it was just at the right angle and just pulled it shut. So, of course, me wanting to save the day, he said, I'll help you. I want to kick the door down because we thought that was the only way we were going to be able to get in.
So you just you really secretly wanted to kick a door down.
I went and got my steel toe boots. I was ready to do this. I had read some articles. So before I Googled how to kick a door down, I Googled how to
With steel toe boots.
pop the lock open. So I actually found it. Of course, there was a million bloggers on YouTube that were vloggers, excuse me. And so you basically take a piece of plastic or something and put it in the door, and you're pulling the door shut. I'm making hand gestures like you guys out there can see me, but that's okay. And you put the piece of plastic through, and you close the door, and you kind of jimmy it back and forth, and like hope you get enough inertia to pop this out. The only issue was there wasn't a big gap between the door frame. It was closed off, so this very thing couldn't happen.
Right.
So we were borderline having to call the fire department because she had a chicken in the oven. It was starting to smoke. It was bad. So what we did is the neighbors started to come out. One neighbor grabbed the screwdriver, and the other one grabbed the hammer. And I just banged on that sucker until it popped out, put my shoulder in, and we were good to go.
But
Well,
like,
awesome.
do I
So
have to be
successfully
worried? Do I have to
broken.
be worried about this now that like people like because when you go to a hotel, like that's where I usually experience these latch locks, right? You go to a hotel and they always have one, right? And I always put it on, safety first. But do I have to be worried about people? Can this like work all the time now?
If there's a big enough gap in the door, maybe just put a little piece of paper there or something to block it, so that way you don't have to worry about it.
It's like one more thing I have to worry about now.
my
You know
God.
what? What isn't there?
Good job being a good Samaritan.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what? It was a good time as a community thing, and it brought us closer as people that I'll probably never talk to again.
I'd be interested if any of you listeners out there, if you have any interesting stories about breaking into like a place you actually live at, you locked yourself out. Let us know.
Yeah,
It'd be interesting
tweet
to
at
see.
us at newpod_whodis or slide into our DMs on Instagram. All right, we have a brand new segment.
New segment.
Oh my, new segment alert. This is super exciting. So those of you who are familiar with the Newlywed Game will know this very quickly. This is the Newlywed Game
The new
Pod
pod.
Edition.
Yeah,
It's a working title.
The newly pod game.
the newly pod game.
right,
it's a
so-
riff on it.
If you don't know how the game works, each of us has 2 cards, and they have facts written on about the host of the pod. So we're going to go around and we're going to read, and we are going to guess, along with you out there in podcast land, guess along with us, and maybe tweet us some facts about you. So I'm going to start off. All right, First.
So
question.
just to be clear, you are going to read it, and we are guessing who we think it is.
Who it is?
Well, I don't know who these are either, so we're all. Really
do you
guessing.
participate too?
Perfect.
Nobody knows who.
Let's
is
do it.
Well,
Let's do
somebody
it.
knows.
Somebody knows.
First one.
All right. Which one of us has been in a roller coaster safety video?
That's a really
Ooh.
interesting question. I think Steven.
Yeah, it's me.
Well, okay.
You were really excited to say that.
Quickly.
I mean, come on,
Well, what's your favorite, least favorite thing about
Roller coasters?
Oh man, well I used to work at one. So
What?
yeah,
Where?
if you Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia. Shout out to Busch Gardens.
Bush fam?
Yeah, spent a lot of summers, a lot of hours there. Nice.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, so I was in a safety video. It was cool, and I don't know if it's still there. Actually, I got to go back and see if they still are still playing it.
Do people come up to you on the street and like, you're the guy in that safety video?
No, thankfully not.
If anybody can find that video, please tweet it out at us.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of roller
It was
coasters.
for apology. You're afraid of roller coasters?
Yeah, I really don't like
Is it the
rides.
heights or is it like the speed?
I don't like the feeling of losing my stomach. It really just I've always been afraid of them. I like indoor ones, like the ones in Disney that little kids go on.
Space Mountain.
Love Space Mountain.
Funny story about Space Mountain. My dad told me that it wasn't a roller coaster when I was a child,
Yeah.
and it was definitely a roller coaster.
Yeah, but like that's like a manageable one. But those loop
That's a good first roller coaster.
Yeah.
I can't. I
Yeah.
don't like that.
I just remembered Roller Coaster Tycoon and just taking a link out of the track and everyone dying, so that played over and over again.
Oh my god.
All right.
So
All right.
the next, am I the next one? Okay.
You're the next one.
So the card says, "Whose favorite Harry Potter book is Prisoner of Azkaban?" Honestly, this could be anyone at
Yeah,
the
it
table.
really could be any one of us. I'm
And
gonna
it's Jake.
I'm gonna guess Jake.
No. I'm
No?
going to say Joey.
Joey?
It is Joey.
Oh. Okay. What's yours then, Jake?
I would have to say probably the Half-Blood Prince.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know the books, but I like the movies a lot.
Or Goblet of Fire.
Goblet of Fire is mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, Goblet of Fire is my least favorite.
Oh, I love that one.
See, I'm always tossed up between Order of the Phoenix and Prisoner of Azkaban.
Order of the Phoenix is tight because of Dumbledore's army.
Yes.
That's tight.
I'm
Have
a
you
big
ever-
serious
Rise
Black
up against the
fan.
machine. Do it.
Have you ever been to Harry Potter World?
I have.
Yeah, me too. And
Oh,
it's
man.
awesome.
When's
Yeah.
Jake, come on, you gotta go.
I did go. I was rushed through it.
Wait, did you
It's a soft spot, I
go
don't
after
talk.
they had
Okay.
the extension?
No, I haven't been since the extension.
Oh, I haven't either.
I went-
Podcast trip?
Podcast
Oh, pod trip.
Next weekend on the pod, live from Harry Potter World.
Sponsor that.
All right, so I have the next question. Which one of us was a summer camp counselor?
Jake.
It was me.
Yeah,
We all know it was Jake.
I could not have done
What
that.
gave it away?
It was either gonna be
So-
me or you. Let's be honest.
All right, well, Jake, what was your craziest camp story?
Oh man. Okay. So I had a plethora of different campers and interactions, but definitely the worst story was I had a child come and scrape on my tent flap. Hey, Jake, I need your help. And I was like, okay, Johnny, what's wrong? And he says, I had an accident. I was like, oh man, okay, well, like in your bed or in your pants? No, just come. I went up into his wall tent, and homeboy had shit
No.
all over the tent. And we're like,
No.
we're in the woods, so it's not like, oh, call the janitor. I am grabbing
You are the
bleach from our
janitor.
supply cabinet, ripping up towels.
Oh no.
Poor kid. I took him to the nurse, and he spent the night there. Drank some Pedialyte, but yeah.
Oh.
Oh my
Good
god.
times.
That is terrible.
Oh, it's so bad. I hate that story.
All right, so my question that I have on my card is which one of us got into a physical altercation with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Whoa, that's definitely Jackie.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Jackie.
Why is it? Is it because I'm the last one?
Process of elimination, says Jack.
That's not me.
No, because you're tough.
I'd be
You're tough as
scared.
nails, and you won't let anybody push you around.
Yeah, I mean, physical altercation is obviously an
specialty?
exaggeration, which is my specialty. But yeah, no, I was working in a restaurant at the time, and he came in with his family and was sitting at a table by the front door, and I was like a host. I was in host mode, just ripping through the restaurant, and I ran to the front to seat somebody else, and I just wasn't thinking, and I ran head first into Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I just like bounced back like 12 feet and was like, what's going on? And I just remember my manager ripping me out of the way and being like, you stay there. Like, just stay there. Let's let these people sit down. He came out unscathed. I don't even think he noticed that I touched him. It was unbelievable.
Kind of like you hit him and just like ding.
Yeah. So that was it.
Well, how many Schwarzenegger movies could we name? Do you guys know a lot of them? I like
Terminator. Done. I'm done.
Like,
1 through whatever.
wasn't he like Kindergarten Cop? Like Kindergarten Cop. Like I remember him from that.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Get to the chopper.
Oh, what was the Christmas movie that he was in with the
Jingle All the Way.
Yes, Jingle All the Way.
Danny DeVito.
Yes.
We've exhausted our knowledge.
Just Schwarzenegger.
Predator.
Oh man.
Predator.
All right, what's the next one, Jake?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
round
don't know.
2.
All right, next question. Which one of us went to an all-boys school? Jackie, definitely.
I'm gonna go Joey.
I'm gonna go with Jake.
It's me. I did. All-boys school from 5th grade through high school, which actually wasn't bad. Everyone always would ask me, well, wasn't doing all-guys school hard to meet girls? And I was like, no, it was just really a bunch of dick and fart jokes the whole time.
I went to an all-girls school. So we
high
have that.
five.
You
I
know
don't
about
even
this,
know
right?
you.
Guys, did you have like what grade was this? Like
5th grade through 12th grade.
oh wow. So did you guys do like dances with all girls schools?
We did.
So you still got the opportunity to
Yeah.
flirt a little bit. And
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But those were the dances to go to.
This was high school, guys. How
Everyone
much game
wanted
do
to
we
go
think
to
we
the
had?
Sally's dances.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said this was high school. How much game do you think you had?
So much game. I had none. I had like one girlfriend.
I do not resemble high school Steven. Like I look back at pictures of me, I'm just like, oh yeah, that I do regret that haircut. Like my parents said I'd probably regret it. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Well, high school's like the most stressful time ever, and you look back on it now and you're like, who cares?
Yeah, it was a breeze, really, when you look back at it. I mean,
Yeah.
Did you guys ever get in a lot of trouble in high school?
I got in trouble in middle school. First, we had this game where we were stepping on each other's feet. It was really,
Typical.
yeah. Some of my middle school friends will remember this. We all got sent to the principal. We had to eat lunch in the principal's office, but there were like 12 of us. The game was like you had to run around and I don't know. Honestly, the rules were blurry.
Detention? Did you guys go to detention a lot?
I got in trouble for public display of affection.
Oh, player.
PDA action, huh?
I don't know. I was making out with my girl at the time. It was the end of the school day, and we were like, all right, well, we're going our separate ways. Like, then the headmaster like walks up as we're making
Of course.
out,
Straight
and
out of a
we just
movie.
both look, turn like slowly, like, oh god.
Da, 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 da.
All right. Speaking of high school, whose favorite high school extracurricular was Rocket Club?
Steven.
Joey.
It was me.
Yeah. You said Steven? Are you kidding?
But you don't think I'm smart enough for Rocket
Okay,
Club?
fine. You're the second biggest.
I
nerd
was
at the
in
table.
I was in the Technology Student Association. I'll have you know. And I did bridge building. We built them out of toothpicks.
I already called you the second biggest nerd. You don't have
Okay.
to
You
continue
don't have to defend your
talking about
title.
it.
I don't know. You might be first though with like the bridge building stuff. I was just making
Oh
rockets,
no,
man.
mine did not do very well.
Oh.
So what kind of rockets though? Like
Like Essies?
So we did both bottle rockets, yeah, and Essie's like model rockets.
Tight.
so they went up pretty high.
Yeah, but I was more jazzed about the like bottle rockets because like that was more like you could affect a lot more. Like the model one was like, here's your rocket, make it like it's gonna go up there. But like if you didn't make the bottle rocket right, you kind of look like a fool out there.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Next one.
All right, whose drink of choice is a bourbon old fashioned?
I want to say Jackie.
I want to
Definitely
say.
I want to say Steven.
I want to say Steven. It's me.
Ah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much else to say. That's my
Jackie's
drink
really a
of choice.
75-year-old man.
I'm fine with that, honestly.
What are you,
They have a lot of wisdom, old man strength. I'm cool.
Well, Jackie,
Would
you're
you
the
be up-
resident bartender. Like, what are people's favorite cocktails that you like kind of notice?
I mean, I don't know. I make a lot of classic cocktails, old fashions. People drink old fashions. It's not just me, and it's not just 85-year-old men.
Do you burn your orange peel?
No,
Don't talk to
because
me.
I can't. I don't carry a lighter. It's really hard to do with a match. There's a lot of things that go into that. Not that cool, I guess.
Yeah, sulfur smells.
all right, so the last question of our first Newlywed Game segment. Which one of us lived in a school bus?
Steven.
Steven.
Oh, yeah,
process
Steven did.
elimination. I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
School bus, tell us more about that.
Yeah, so right after I finished my undergrad in college, I like did this project called Bus 52, and I lived on a converted school bus for a year making documentaries all across the U.S. So, like, you know, like at the back of a school bus where, like, the 3 windows are usually, like, in an old school, like, yellow school bus. That's where I slept. We had, like, a kitchen and stuff. We didn't have a shower or anything because we just, like, used, like, campgrounds and stuff. But it was pretty wild. And a whole year in a bus will teach you a lot about living small.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was me and 4 other people, so 5 of us. And, yeah. But what's, like, have you guys ever lived? I mean, that's pretty crazy. You guys ever lived anywhere crazier than me? A school bus is pretty crazy.
No, I lived.
I don't know about crazier, but on one of my many breaks from my college career, I lived at the camp that I counseled at in a tent until it got too cold to deal with the tent. And that was pretty interesting because I was kind of living off of the scraps. I was working in the kitchen, so whatever the leftover food, that's what I was eating off of. I didn't have a car. I didn't have anything other than the tent and whatever I could, cultivate from the campgrounds, which is pretty tight.
Yeah.
Glad I'm not doing that anymore.
Built character, though.
I don't know about you guys, but I liked the Newlywed Game.
Newlywed
I think
Game
we
was
should-
a winner.
Can we stop calling it that? 'Cause, like the newly
Yeah, it's
newly pod.
Newlyped?
Newlyped?
We need help naming this.
What's the plural or
It's
potted?
clear. It's clear we need help naming this game.
The newly pod, the pod game. I don't know.
We'll brainstorm.
Well, hey guys, that was action-packed episode 3.
Episode 3.
I mean, we're just gonna keep them going. This is great.
Yeah.
Rock and
Please
roll.
remember to follow us on Instagram, newpod.whodis.
Yeah,
Where else
you
can they follow us?
follow us on Twitter at newpod_whodis.
Who dis?
Whodis, D-I-S. You can always email us at newpodwhodis@gmail.com. Check us out on wherever you get your podcasts, but on iTunes it helps if you rate and subscribe to the podcast. It helps other people find out where we are, and please get in touch with us on Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah, don't be
email.
shy. We
reach out.
We want to make this an interactive podcast, so please let us know what's going on. Hey, do you guys want to plug your social media? Jackie, where can the people follow you?
My name's Jackie Ubella, and that's pretty much all of my handles. Super original.
Joey Quarters, that's where you'll find me.
Find me at @Asher, so SHASCHER.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jake Ferranto.
Awesome.
All right.
One more thing before we close up, I just want to do a shout out to Kate and Beth, our
lovely producers.
our producers, making us sound good and stay on track.
Yeah, none of this
Yeah.
would be possible without them behind the scenes pulling the strings and telling us when to shut up about something.
Yeah. And PJ.
Yeah, and PJ.
Oh, you might have noticed the studio dog PJ putting in his 2 cents earlier,
Yeah,
so we
he's
want
got a lot
to
to
thank him for
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So until next week,
that. All right, everybody have a good week out there. We'll see you next time.
peace.
Bye.
Later.